Okay, so hey, super nice to see you around here.
My name is Akansha, and thank you, CPSBB, and all of you for giving me this opportunity to talk and to present myself.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, now that you mentioned the opportunity, so can you tell me a little bit about your interest in science and how did your scientific career start? Like, what was the sparkle there?
Okay, so I would like to start with my graduation. During my school time, I always have interest in science, and I opted biology. Although I studied mathematics for 1 month and I got scared, I dropped that.
Don't you love maths?
I don't love. I thought that I would do better in maths, but then I just studied for 1 month and then I opted biology and I did really good. And in India, this is the mindset that people, if they're opting biology, they were going to be a doctor. But I never had this thing in my mind. I just studied because I wanted to do biology. And then I did graduation in chemistry honors, and biotechnology was a subsidiary subject. Yeah. So this I did in my hometown, which is Bhopal in India. Then I did masters in biotechnology in Bangalore, and that's in different state. So that was the first time I moved out of my house, moved out of my place. Yeah. So this is where I realized during masters that I have more interest in research, because the kind of experiments we were doing there, although it covered several topics like plant biotechnology, animal biotechnology, microbiology, and several genetics, several other topics were covered. But then after completing my masters, I did training. That was almost a 1 year training back in my place, back in my city. And that is when I realized that I have interest in plants, because there I propagated aloe vera. Have you heard about aloe vera?
Yes.
That's a medicinal plant, and that I learned tissue culture techniques there, and it aroused my interest. And then I started searching for supervisors. I didn't want to do PhD in India. I talked to several people. They suggested me to do PhD out of India. Then I started looking for supervisors in Australia and New Zealand. And luckily I got reply from Paul Dackwell. He's a professor in Massey University in New Zealand. And that is when I got selected. I started the procedure, admission procedure, everything, and yeah.
That's awesome. So how long did it take you to obtain your degree?
4 years, I would say.
Okay.
4 years, yes.
Oh, that's super interesting. I mean, you having the background in biotechnology, because usually people with this background, they just hop onto pharmacy and whatnot. So it is super interested. Like, tell me just a tiny little bit more about, why plants? What was this? I mean, is there something specific that was of interest to you, so that you decided to, devote your scientific life to it?
I think so, because before I saw plants as just, like, I never thought what is happening, what is the mechanism, pathways, how plants respond to stress, what happens to them when they are in normal conditions and when they are exposed to stress. And I found that the way they are responding to different conditions, the way they are responding to different chemicals added to the media. And I got to know so many things are happening. Human body, everybody knows what is happening. Everybody is doing research on that. But I personally never knew that what is in plants. And my interest
just
kept
fascinating.
on growing. Yes.
Yeah, when you think about it, when you think about plants, they're simple. We take them for granted.
Yeah.
But when you actually realize the resemblance of actually the humans,
yes,
it is wow.
Like animals, when they are stressed, when they are exposed to heat or some other stuff, they just run. They can move. But plants, they have inbuilt mechanism. They activate some certain signals so that they can tolerate that stress.
Wow, that's fascinating.
amazing.
Like really, that's super awesome.
Yeah. And then to study the genes, the pathways, that's another story that
Oh yeah, I bet.
exciting story.
I bet.
Yeah.
So do you plan? I mean, obviously you are involved in science. I guess you plan moving forward with that. I mean, in
After
terms
PhD?
of as your career. Or
Yes. I had this in mind that I wanted to do postdoc because that's the platform where you try your skills, you come up with your new ideas and publish papers, all the stuff. And yes, so I finished my PhD in 2018, July. In July, I defended basically. And in 2019 January, I joined CPSBB.
Oh, that's amazing. So you've been around here for what? Almost 2 years? Like a year and 8-9 months?
1 year, 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. So how did you end up in Bulgaria? I'm super interested. What was the thing that actually brought you here?
So this also has a story.
Okay,
During my PhD, I visited Germany. My supervisor, he gave me this opportunity that I could do some work in Germany, Potsdam University. And I was there for 1 year working under Born-Muller Robert. And that is when I met Sanko. And he was actively involved in my project, in scientific discussions and everything. And so I finished my PhD, then I was approaching different people. I preferred to approach people who I already met, whom I already know. So Sanko is one of them. I sent him an email. I didn't know about CPSBB, but I thought he must be having some position, etc. And then he said, yes, we have a center here and we have a position, you can apply for it. Then I sent proposal. And
nice.
Bulgaria, like, I've been to Europe. I've been to Germany, so I am familiar with the language. The problem you have with the different language, but I must say that I love here. I love being in Bulgaria more than in Germany.
Oh, that's so sweet! Thank you very much.
So this is how I found it.
That's awesome. So my question becomes obsolete now because I was about to ask you whether you like it here or not.
I do like it.
You just replied to me right away. So being in CPSBB, what have you been involved with? Is there anything specific that?
So there's this project. There's this project, Resist project, which has a collaboration with BioAtlantis. There are a few other institutes as well. I'm working with seaweed-based biostimulant, which when sprayed on plants, it is supposed to give tolerance against several stresses, and it improves the fruit quality. So it has been already tested, including other colleagues here, that Super 50 gives tolerance against drought, against paraquat stress, oxidative stress, and they have also published a paper. So next I went to Ireland for 6 months. This was the great opportunity I got when I was here, because it's good to travel, good to meet people, good to visit several labs and do experiments. So that there I worked first time on tomato plants, first time. So in BioAtlantis I tested the product, which is a seaweed-based biostimulant named as Super 50. And we wanted to test whether this product mainly induce tolerance in tomato plants when they are in flowering stage, because when plants are in flowering stage they are more sensitive, and when they are exposed to stress at this stage we either end up having no fruits or less fruit production. So I tested at this stage and I found that the fruit size was better than the non-treated plants, and also under drought stress Super 50 sprayed plants give better tomato fruits, and also the size was better than the wild type plants, better than the non-treated plants.